We've been staying at a hotel and searching for a new house for about 3 weeks. Then our realtor showed us a house that was literally twice the size of anything we had seen.
It appraised 2 years ago at $450. Now it's listed at $299.
Wow, why?
Well, there was an incident there, a couple of months ago. You guys didn't hear about this? It was all over the news.
No.
I mean, I can tell you if it matters. It was a bit gruesome.
You know what? Doesn't matter. I don't want to know anymore.
You're not interested?
Nope, not a bit.
Okay, in the house or the news?
The news.
Oh, okay, good.
Love the house.
I knew the house was too good of a deal to pass up.
You want to see?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's go.
And since it didn't seem to bother Connor, I tried really hard not to let it bother me. I wasn't working at the time, so I started doing some little projects around the house while Connor was at work. It said July 12th. I thought maybe it was someone's birthday or something. No big deal, just a date on a wall. At least that's what I thought.
I came home from work early one day to help Gail around the house. And as soon as I got out of the car, I noticed there was something weird on the gate. I figured it was just some neighborhood kids that did it.
What are you doing?
Says July 12th.
I was just peeling back the wallpaper in the guest bedroom.
Yeah?
It's written there, too.
Huh.
I didn't think much of the date when I saw it behind the wallpaper, but now it was in 2 different places in the house. One night I was unpacking and moving some boxes into the garage. I thought maybe Connor had come home early from work.
Connor?
It looked like a drop of blood, just floating in the water.
Connor?
When I looked back down at the tub, the blood was gone. There was a shard of glass in the bed, but I had no idea how it got there. So after I washed the blood off my arm, I decided to make the bed, make sure there was no more glass in there. The glass was gone. And so was the scratch. I had just finished painting a wall in the kitchen, and I was standing there admiring my work for a second, when the calendar just fell off the wall. That's the moment I was sure that in 17 days, something was going to happen.
Hey, Brenda, it's Gail.
Hi.
I called Brenda, our realtor, to find out if that date was related to whatever happened in our house.
That was February 14th, Valentine's Day. I remember.
I have to admit, that's the answer I was hoping for.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
But now, I was back to square one. The next night, Connor was working late. I decided to take a bath, try to calm down and take my mind off everything. It was gone. Had I imagined the whole thing? At that point, I started thinking Connor was right. Maybe I had gotten so fixated on this date that, I don't know, it was affecting me in some way. Connor was calling to tell me he would be picking up dinner on his way home. I really wanted to tell him about my arm, but I didn't even know how to begin explaining it in person, let alone over the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Bye. There's a man outside our window.
Connor didn't believe me. But now that he was home, I decided to go back inside. I couldn't pretend that everything was fine anymore. I wanted to know what happened in that house. It was late at night, but I called our realtor, and she told me one of the most horrible stories I've ever heard. The couple who lived there before us was engaged. Their wedding date was supposed to be July 12th. I'm sure that's why the date was written all over the house. But then, things changed. He traveled a lot for business and came back from a work trip early to surprise her for Valentine's Day. The guy she was having the affair with escaped, but she didn't. After he killed her, he killed himself in the bathtub. When their bodies were discovered, he had carved July 12th into both their arms. I told Connor to pack up the car. At that point, I didn't care if he thought I was crazy. After hearing that story, I didn't want to be in the house another second, especially when July 12th was only a few minutes away.
Gail, what's the matter? What's
In
happening?
the bathroom, and there's writing on the mirror, and then it broke. And there's somebody in the house.
Go, go.
The police couldn't find anything. No lipstick on the mirror, no shattered glass. They thought we made it all up.
There was no way I was ever stepping foot back inside that house. We hired professional movers to come pack everything up, and we moved out that weekend.